I stand here today and look at what was once the Fresh Kills landfill. It's a great sense of pride in seeing what's happened here over the last 10 years. 10 years ago it closed. I was told 3 years before that it was my #1 priority to develop a plan and implement a plan to close this dump. And we were able to do it. We did it ahead of schedule. We did it in a way where we were able to no longer have any garbage dumped here. And let me tell you, it's made a huge impact in the quality of life, not only for all New Yorkers, but specifically for those who live here on Staten Island. What used to be here, quite honestly, we couldn't be standing here right now for the smell and the dirt and everything else that the dump represented. It was the largest uncapped, unlined dump in the world, and it needed to be closed. It was an environmental hazard. The point was we would close it, do it in the most efficient way possible. We'd make it into a park. There would be roads. It would help significantly with the quality of life. And one important aspect of quality of life overall is making sure that people are mobile in their cars, that they can avoid traffic. We need to build the roads that were envisioned here when the plans were put together to close the landfill. Our parks are very, very important to understand that we have roads going through parks. In Pelham Bay Park, which today is the largest park in the city of New York, there are roads that go all the way through it, connecting with the 95, connecting over to the Hutchinson River Parkway. We need to do the same thing here, where we can connect Richmond Avenue with the West Shore Expressway. And believe me, if you've ever been here on Richmond Avenue during rush hour in the morning or in the evenings, it's bumper-to-bumper traffic, and we need to find a way to enhance the quality of life of everybody out here by changing this traffic. Look, the city of New York can get this done if they put their mind to it. We were able to close Fresh Kills. We were able to build Bloomingdale Park when we were told it was not environmentally possible to do. And today it's both environmentally one of the most pleasant parks to go to here on the island. We were able to do that in spite of the fact that people said it could never be done. I don't believe for a second that the roads that are here now can't be done. They've hired 3 different consultants. Each one of the consultants told them it was feasible. Do they need to hire a 4th? They're searching to find a way not to do this. And I'll also tell you that they can't do it because you can't build drainage. Let me tell you, you can build drainage facilities without upsetting the ecological and the environmental nature of what's going on with the closure of Fresh Kills. You tilt the roads in a certain way so the water runs down. It's the way they do it in the rest of the country. We don't need to reinvent the wheel here. We absolutely need to make sure that we build these roads, we alleviate the traffic problems here on the island, and first and foremost, all elected officials should worry about what they can't do, but they should worry about what they can do. And what they can do here is help the people on Staten Island make sure that they get this roads open and enhance the quality of life. I want to thank you for this opportunity. Joe, thank you for bringing this up and also talking about it. It is extremely important to get this done for the people of Staten Island.
So
Courtney?
When are you looking to have these roads open?
Last year. These roads should have been open a long time ago. They were envisioned and discussed in 2001 when the park when the park was envisioned and when Fresh Kills was closed. These roads that are here now were roads that were used by the sanitation department to bring their large trucks in and their tractors in and all the rest of it to help deal with the final dumping of each and every one of the garbages. We don't have to wait a decade to get these roads open.
So obviously before the park is completely renovated and...
Sure, absolutely. They're two separate things. You can still build a park while you have a road going in. In fact, it'll only enhance the ability to bring in the kayaks, to bring in whatever other the canoes that'll be used here. You're going to need access to the park. You might as well build the roads now so that we can do 2 things at once: alleviate the traffic problem and enhance the quality of life here, and prepare to have the park open. John?
is there any body or agency besides the city that has to be involved? Is there any state or federal permission or agreement that's required?
Yeah, if anything, it would be the involvement of DEC. DEC has some oversight over the closure of landfills. We have landfills with driving through it right now. So yeah, there may be some involvement of DEC. DEC is actually on site here all the time. They've never raised an issue with it. These roads were here when DEC had oversight over the dump itself when it was open.
And these are existing map streets.
Right.
So there's not a need for design or anything like that.
Right.
We know where they're going to go. We know where we know what the right of ways are anyway.
How soon, realistically, though, could they open? I mean, days, weeks, months.
The plan for the dump, the plan for Fresh Kills Park is a long-term plan, but that doesn't mean you can't start a road project in the immediate future. Immediate being 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. There's no.
Look, we have to widen the roads that are here. That'll take some period of time, but we're not talking, about a very long, elaborate period of time. Just widening the roads, putting down the stripes, putting in the curbs can be done in a relatively short order. But they have to start. And the fact of the matter is, it's been going on for a decade now, and it hasn't even started.
Have either of you spoken directly to Mayor Bloomberg on this topic, and if so, what's his reaction been?
I haven't. I can only speak as a staffer for other elected officials who have, but there's been numerous conversations with former Commissioner Benepe and the administration, and they don't seem to want to. I mean, you can even turn to things like Borough President Molinaro, who's been trying to put potential for windmills on the site. There's been no variation from what the Bloomberg administration wants to do.
I've not had conversations with them. I have had conversations in the past with the Parks Department folks who are involved here overall.
Thanks, everybody.
One last question, yeah.
Open.
You got $110,000 more in matching funds than Bill de Blasio did. Do you see that as a turning point for you in this race?
Every day is a turning point. Every day that Bill de Blasio doesn't come out, every day that Bill de Blasio doesn't come to Staten Island. I've been to Staten Island now, this is my 8th time since the primary is over. He's been here once. It's really important to focus on the fact that this is a borough of the city of New York. You need to be worried about what goes on here just as much as any other part of the city of New York. Bill de Blasio has to come out here to Staten Island and explain to the people why he said that the money that's coming from the federal government should not always be used totally for repairing the damage that was done by Sandy, but should be used to right social ills in the city of New York. Quite honestly, he needs to come out here and justify his positions on a lot of things.
Just going off of what you just said on his proposal to make sure that there are living wage jobs for Sandy. I mean, so you're saying you think that's a bad idea, one, and two, what do you think that money should be dedicated to exclusively?
The money should be dedicated to exactly what was described in the application, to rebuild the homes, to rebuild the roads, to rebuild the broadwalks, to rebuild the beaches, to rebuild or build in some cases the jetties. There was a very specific need for this federal money, and it was described both by the state of New York combined with the city of New York as to what these federal funds should be used for. They ought not be diverted for something other than that.
So you don't think it should be to incentivize so-called living wage jobs?
It has nothing to do with living wage jobs. It should be used for the purpose it was described for. We have people on this island who still can't live in their homes. Their homes need to be repaired. The money is to make sure that people can get a roof over their head and go back into their homes.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Thanks. And thank you, Lord, for the rain.